What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about why you shouldn't buy a Ford Mustang EcoBoost. Well, the reason why you shouldn't buy a Ford Mustang EcoBoost. And I know in the past I've made a lot of videos talking about why the Ford Mustang EcoBoost is a good car and why you should buy a Ford Mustang EcoBoost. So don't get me wrong, this is not a hate video, because I hate those guys who come online and say, well, don't buy the Ford Mustang EcoBoost because fuel is expensive and it consumes a lot of fuel. Well, that's your problem, right? The way you drive is going to predict the way your fuel is consumed. So next time your car is consuming a lot of fuel, just think of how you drive. Obviously, if it's a V8, V10, V12, it's going to consume a lot of fuel. It's kind of in the title. But if you're driving a 4-cylinder and it's consuming fuel like it's a V8, do not complain, because you're driving it like it's a V8. And it's not a bad thing. I drive this car like it's a V8. And as I'm speaking right now, I'll show you guys, I might as well. My car needs fuel. But that's not going to be something I'm going to complain about today. I'm going to tell you this issue that a lot of people face with the Ford Mustang in general, not just the Ford Mustang EcoBoost, in hopes of saving you some money or warning you for the future if you ever get to face this problem. So what is the problem that I've been facing with this car for the past 3 months? If we go back to 3 months ago, I was driving the car one time. I stepped on the gas and the car went up to 3,000 RPM, and then the RPM dropped and I'm still stepping on the gas. And the car was kind of just struggling to get the RPMs back up. So I thought to myself that this is something pretty interesting. I was very confused and I didn't understand what was going on. I remember shitting my pants. Okay, I was with my girlfriend, the cameraman, who's not here right now, and she was with me. She didn't notice, but then I started panicking. I just thought the car is just gonna break down now, and we're in the middle of the road. I hit the engine stop button, I switched the engine back on, put the car in drive, and then I drove off. The car was fine. So my dumb little brain said, oh yeah, but it's nothing. It's nothing. I live in a very hot country. The weather is very bad, so maybe the heat. And I was like, whatever. So I went home, and by the time I got inside, I forgot about it. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go home and search this up and see what's happening. But by the time I got home, I forgot about it, and everything was fine. And everything stayed fine for another couple of weeks. Then I went to Mexico with my friends, and we were driving, and on one of my pulls, the car just started cutting really bad. And I thought to myself, well, this is it again. The car is gonna completely break down, and I'm probably gonna have to call a recovery and take it back home, and that's it. Turns out I was wrong. I did the same thing I did before, put the car in park, killed the engine, started the engine again. Car drove, but this time it didn't drive that long. It just started cutting, and every time I step on the gas, car goes to 3,000 RPM, 4,000 RPM, and then the RPM drop, and then it goes up and drops, goes up and drops. I thought to myself, this could be the spark plugs, because the car at the time had like 83,000 kilometers on it, and I was like, it's probably around time I changed the spark plugs. So I take the car into the garage. So what I did was I got the spark plugs changed, and I got the engine cover changed, and I got the gasket changed. So I changed those 3 things, and I thought, this is gonna be it. And even the mechanic looked at me and said, yes sir, the reason you're having all this is because of your spark plugs. And I didn't guess his judgment. I was like, I thought it was spark plugs, he thinks it's spark. So naturally, because I thought it was spark plugs and he said that, I thought it was right, because I made up the theory to myself that this is spark plugs. So I thought I'm very smart. I filmed the video after, and if you guys check out the video, I'll leave a link up here. I said, oh, I just changed my spark plugs and blah blah blah, and I didn't think much of it, because the car was driving fine, and I thought, okay, this has been fixed. And one time a few weeks ago, there was really heavy fog, and then the car just went ballistic, right? The car went crazy. I was flooring the car, and the car wouldn't move. The car was not moving. The car was in drive. Step on the gas, the car is just barely moving. We're doing like 20-30 kilometers per hour. It's still working. Car was doing like 30 kilometers per hour, and I freaked out. Then the reason why I freaked out, because I realized how much of a dumbass I am. This is not a spark plug issue. This is a big issue. And then I started seeing a tool sign. And I know once you see a sign in your car, it's never going to end up good. And guess what? That is something that I'm still right about. I see this tool sign, and I was like, God, I've never heard of anything like this before. I know of engine lights, and engine lights are not good, but a tool sign makes no sense. It appeared on my dashboard for like 20-30 seconds, and then it disappeared. And I was like, okay, maybe there's something just wrong because of the fog or whatever. But the car kept cutting, and I was just done. I was done with it. So I took the car in, find out what's happening with the car. They looked at the car, and then they're like, oh yeah, you have an issue with something called TCU, Transmission Control Unit. You need to get that changed. Okay, how much is that? 4,000. no thank you, is there anything else we can do? And then they say no. So we were stuck on this TCU for a day, and then they came back and said, oh no, it's not the TCU, you have an issue with the transmission oil and transmission filter, so you just need to change those and you'll be fine. I was like, transmission oil and filter will cause this? So I kind of felt, you know, a bit skeptical about it. I felt like they didn't really understand my problem. It was just kind of like them taking a guess. And I was like, no, thank you. So I took the car away, and I decided that I'm just going to keep driving the car, and I'm going to keep driving the car till just something happens. So I kept driving the car. Nothing happened, thankfully. Nothing bad happened. And it stopped. It stopped doing that. The car was driving perfectly fine for like 2 weeks, and that is the past 2 weeks. The car was driving great, and then for 5 days straight, every time I drive the car, it is just such an unpleasant experience. It is something that is so annoying. It really bothered me that every time I step on the throttle, the car just starts cutting, and it's just, the car just kind of stalls and then comes back, stalls and comes back. So I couldn't understand, and nobody can understand what's going on. So I was done with this. I went home, I went online and I checked what's happening. I searched up my symptoms, and what popped up just scared the hell out of me, because there were 20,000 people having the same exact issue as me, but nobody understood why. And the thing is, it wasn't only the Ford Mustang EcoBoost, it was all Mustangs. There were people with V6s and people with Mustang GTs complaining about the same exact thing. And I thought to myself, someone would know why this is happening, but it turns out nobody really understood what's happening to their car and why their car is acting like that. So 3 days ago, we took the car to a garage that knows a lot about Mustangs, apparently. And they said that I have a problem with something called airspeed sensor that is in the transmission. And if I find the picture of the part, I'll put it up here for you guys. It's such a small part and it looks stupid. It looks like a plastic little piece. And here's the issue. Ford does not have the part, and the place I took the car to doesn't have the part, and people who sell used parts don't also have the part, so nobody has the part. So here I am sitting in front of my garage with no idea what's going on. No idea really what's gonna happen. I guess the smart thing to do is sell the car, but I feel like I really want to get to the bottom of this, and I want to find out why the car is doing this. So if you've ever faced this issue before, you know why something like this could happen, let me know down below in the comments. I just wanted to make this video to let you guys know that a lot of people deal with this issue. A lot of people get this kind of problem with all the Mustangs from 2015 all the way up to 2017. And I promise you, I maintain my car so well in terms of maintenance. I prefer to stick to 8,000 kilometers, every 8,000 kilometers, oil and oil filters, and the oil that the car needs, and I pay the most I can. So the car is getting treated very well in terms of maintenance. And yes, I do step on the car and do all these things, but maintenance is done all the time. Tires, they're getting changed every like 9 months. I'm changing tires, right? We're changing tires every 8-9 months, and we're changing oil and oil filters and brake pads and brake discs. We're doing a lot of things that most people don't do, especially with a car like this, because it does appear to be a bit of a teenage boy car, and we all know young people don't take care of this. Okay, so the best thing for you to do is avoid 2015, 16, 17, and just look for higher or lower. Or you can go with 15, 16, 17, but just know that this is something that may happen to you. And once it does, you could be stuck like I am. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're buying this car. And what else can I tell you? But just to let you know, maybe this will never happen to you. Maybe you own a Ford Mustang and this is something that you've never had to deal with. But right now, I am on 88,000 kilometers, which in some places isn't that much, but where I live, I'm now heading into the 90,000, and right after that comes the 100,000, and where I live, it's not good. It's not good. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please, if you want to buy the Ford Mustang EcoBoost or a Ford Mustang in general, don't take this video as something to set you back from getting this car, because this car is so much fun. You have no idea and how much fun I have in this car. 310 horsepower, turbocharged, rear-wheel drive. It sounds like a lot of good things to have fun. So it is a fun car. It's amazing. It's the best thing you can buy for the price, really. You get a great screen, you get good everything. Like, everything you get is nice. I would show you guys everything I'm talking about, but I just picked up the car from a garage and they took inside the car. I don't even know what they're like. You know what? I might as well show you, right? This looks like cigarette ash to me, if I'm not wrong. I don't even know what this is. And yeah, the screen is dirty. Everything around it is dirty. The floor mats for the passenger side are destroyed. Seats, I don't know what they were doing inside the car, to be completely honest with you. This mirror I received broken. When I went to pick up the car yesterday, it was broken. So I was like, what is going on? So I had to leave the car till today. I actually just picked up the car like an hour ago. But they managed to get it back on. And then they blamed it on, you know, someone stuck this mirror with silicone before. That's why it fell. I don't believe someone broke it. I believe it's because of the heat. They did fix the car for free and they fixed it themselves. So that's good on them. But I'm happy my car is back. Okay, at least it's back. It's parked at home, controlled environment where I won't come in and see things breaking apart and falling apart. So that is that for today's video. This is going to be a very long, very long video, because when I let myself talk, I don't stop. So I'm going to have a lot of editing to do. So, and if you guys have any video ideas or anything you'd like to see that we can film at home, let me know. And if you have a nice car here in Dubai or in the UAE, comment down below and we'll get in touch and set something up and do all that fun stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys next video.